This is actually a elo rating of 1145, me against another average player, me being white, opening the queen's gambit position, pawn sacrifice, knight c3. Sorry, I'm guys actually too fast for these things. Yeah, so there we go with the defense on the knight side and bishops gaining on the position. So now you can see on this whiteboard that I have gained 2 pieces ahead of black with knight and the bishop on midway through, and I'm actually scaring his knight off and he's putting him into an uncomfortable situation. This is basically the winning move of this game. Why? Because not just because I'm going to gain an upper hand, but also I'm putting one of his pieces in an uncomfortable position, and at the same time I'm actually moving ahead with my knight and bishop into a comfortably attacking position on c7 actually. And then you can see that I'm actually already making him uncomfortable with my soldier, with my pawn on this one. Sorry, I keep saying soldier because chess is basically an acronym of chariot, horse, elephant, and soldiers. That's actually the older acronym of chess. Anyways, now you go with the bishop attack on my knight, but that's actually traditional attack. I'll come back with my defense first by taking his pawn and breaking his pawn structure over here, and then he comes with a knight attack. That's a pretty reformed attack from his side, but then I move my rook from there and dodge his knight attack on my rook. I don't take his knight because it's soldier backup. Sorry, I keep saying soldier. It's a pawn backup on his knight actually, so my queen doesn't take his knight, and then his knight captures mine, his pawn captures my pawn. It seems as though if the black is actually gaining upper hand on this position, literally barging into my defense. But you can see that slowly, when the moves unfold now, I take charge and let him strike my rook so that I can gain a queen, move away the queen from the center line of D column, and then further attack. This is basically just waiting out on my attack, and I let him take and then strike back and then leave an opening to his knight from my queen. His queen checks me, and I then actually defend it, and then he runs away from here knowing that I can actually strike him. And now I castle and then move my rook towards this position so that I can open an attack to his queen, and he castles away as well. But I actually discover this is actually basically a discover attack. From now on I'll be playing some discover attacks on his queen. You can see a lot of discover attack. This is basically a discover attack, moving my knight away and then letting my rook open to his queen, and then he defends it back. But this is a wrong move because he's keeping right across my path on the queen, on my queen, and then I can just move a pawn to scare him away. But first I need to move my queen closer to my bishop here so that I can defend my bishop and gain a center position on board. And now I strike him back with the knight actually, taking his pawn, and then he reinforces his queen, but it is useless because I can just carry him away now, and his his knight, I keep saying horse and soldier, sorry, the Indian acronym, his knight is now actually in attack again, because obviously he can't actually just move his knight away, but he can give a really winning move by moving his knight to c5, giving an attack to my queen, and at the same time giving an attack to my rook. But instead he moves his queen to this position to give a check. It's a really wrong move. He should have moved his knight to c3, but he moved his queen to c3. If he would have moved his knight to c3, he would have scared my queen off and at the same time given an attack to my rook. Obviously, he leaving his queen also to an opponent to an attack. It will be an exchange of queen, but he did not maintain that exchange of queen. He just straight away went ahead and gave a check. Now he would be in a vulnerable position because I gave him defense.